Hello everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel. I am here today, it's like July 18th, and I am here for an update. Since my last video, I have worked on quite a few different projects. I didn't make a ton of progress on them all, but I have worked on a few different projects, and I had one little finish, which I will start with. So I will start with my finish, which was on Game Boy Zelda, which was from the Etsy shop Cross Stitch Salon, which is now I think Needle Minder Lair, but these charts are not available right now. But I did see on Instagram that she is currently making a new Game Boy set, so we will see what she ends up coming out with. So here's where I was in my last video, and here it is, all finished. It is adorable. I love this so much. I started this in May for Mania and I have it finished already, so I'm super excited that I actually got something finished. I ended up, okay, people are probably gonna be like horrified, but I glued this to a switch case. But yeah, I use glue. People will probably be like, you use glue, but I mean, I don't really care. This isn't something that's gonna be like around like 200 years where people are like, look at this Zelda Game Boy, this is a great piece of history. Anyways, so I stitched this on, I think it was 14 count plastic canvas using 3 strands of thread because that was what was recommended, and I love how it turned out. When I was finished, I just cut out the plastic around it, and then I took this switch case, which is one of those stupid GameStop used game cases that everyone hates. I just glued it onto the game case, and then my plan is to use one of those like command picture velcro-y hooks, and then I can put it on the wall that way. Yeah, so there's that. I love it. I cannot wait to see what other Game Boy patterns come out, so we'll wait and see. But yeah, that was that. And next. So the next thing that I will show is my Alice in Wonderland stitch along from Owl Forest Embroidery. It is a free stitch along on their website, so anyone can join, free of charge. It's amazing. And I'm behind, so I'm gonna start with that. I'm behind, but here's where I was in my last video. And here is where I am now. The part that I was working on, I can't even remember which part it was. Okay, so there was part 1, part 2, part 3. I think this was part 4, and then maybe this is part 5. I'm not entirely sure, but that's where I am right now. I'm behind because this technically now goes like all the way down. There's like a foot and some other stuff I don't remember entirely, but I am stitching this on 18 count fabric that I dyed myself. I love purple, so purple was just like my go-to fabric to dye. And I am stitching it using Sulky threads that I bought off of Amazon in like the big pack where you can buy like a pack that has a whole bunch of colors. I will link them down below, and I am using 1 strand because the coverage of Sulky is thicker than DMC, so you only need 1 strand on 18 count. So there's that. I love this, but I need to get caught up. I kind of got behind in June because we ended up planning a trip to Disneyland, and so I wasn't really stitching because I was watching all like the Disney videos to see what was going on in Disneyland since like the last time I had been there, because a lot is different with like mobile ordering because of the whole pandemic, and just it's different. So there was that, and the next thing that I worked on, we'll do this one. So the next project, I only worked on it for like 1 day because it's not my favorite thing to work on because I don't love the fabric count. And that was Nightmare Before Christmas, which is a chart from Etsy, but I don't remember the store name, but I will have it linked down below if you like the chart. And here is where I was in my last video. And here is where it is now. I am stitching this using black thread on fabric that I dyed, and the reason why I don't really like it is I don't really like 22 count. I am using 2 strands of black because that was the way to get the best coverage, but I think it's too thick, so like I said, it's just not my favorite. I don't love 22 count. It's not something that I would probably ever buy again for myself, even though I know other people like it. But yeah, so there was that. I basically, I think, worked down this way, and then I started working down this side. So that's that. And then we will do this one. I'm just randomly picking from like this pile that I set up here. And it is the Lunar Princess Stitch Along from Sleeping Luna Designs on Etsy. It is a stitch along that is kind of Sailor Moon themed, but probably not named Sailor Moon because of like copyright issues. You can't really do that without possibly getting in trouble. So here is where I was last time. And here it is now. This is also fabric that I dyed myself. It's a 28 count. I'm doing it 2/2. And I ended up deciding to make a change to this chart. So this chart, the way it originally is you're supposed to stitch in the center a moon, like a half moon thing, and then a rose, and then you fill everything else in with like the yellow color, I think. I decided, because I'm just like, I don't know, I hate big blocks of color, like it drives me crazy. And so like the rose was just like a couple shades of red, the moon was like 2 shades of gray. It would have been a lot of blocks of color. It's not my thing. And so I ended up finding a Sailor Moon chart on Etsy and kind of just like putting it to where I'll be able to fit it in the center thing here. It's a chart with Serenity and Endymion. I can't remember the Etsy store name, but I will insert pictures here of what the chart looks like. Plus, I kind of like cut out the part that will be going in the center, and I made kind of like a little preview picture for myself, and I will insert that. And I'm super excited to like finish this outer ring so that then I can start working on Serenity and Endymion. So there's that chart there. And then I have 2 more whips, and then I can do a little talk about knitting, because I did knitting. So the next chart is Opening Gambit by Long Dog Samplers. Here is where I was in my last video, and here it is now. I got 2. This is like, I only worked down like half of the first page because like this was all kind of like one scene. So I decided that I was going to work across the top row and do like that scene before I go down and do like the stuff that's not in this scene. So, but this is going across the whole top row, so corner to corner, and I love this chart. I am stitching this on 18 count. It's like a, I don't even know, beigey, burlappy looking fabric, but then it has sparkles in it. So I love the sparkles. And then I am using a Silks For You that was a natural silk, but I ended up dyeing it purple because, like I said before, I just love purple. I have a problem. It's an issue. But there's that chart. And my last chart that I worked on. I only worked on this one for a couple days, and you're not really going to be able to see the progress because it's a lot of like white stitching on white fabric, so it doesn't show up. But it was Autumn Harmony by Maxine Gadd. And here I was the last time you saw it, and here she is now. I love the way her face is turning out, and like I said, you probably can't really tell what I got done, but it was like in her nose, I was filling in the white part of her nose and kind of going over onto her cheek. So there's that. I'm stitching this on 18 count, 2/1 full cross, and I cannot believe how big 18 count is. After doing so many charts on like 28 count, like I'm doing Mariner from Maxine Gadd on 28 count, and the face is so much smaller compared to this, where like her face is like, what, probably bigger than my face. It's crazy. So there was that. And then I don't really know plans for going into like the next month or so because it's summer, my kids are home, and I don't know exactly how much stitching time I'll have. Plus, I don't know with the weather how much stitching I will do. And I think it was June, sometime in June, it got to be like 100 degrees here, and it's never 100 degrees. Nobody has air conditioning. Restaurants don't even always have air conditioning. Their air conditioners aren't always big enough to handle heat like that. So the like restaurants were closing down because it was like dangerous working conditions. It was crazy. I don't know if that's gonna happen again or anything, and if that does, I don't stitch when it's 100 degrees. I don't have air conditioning. I die. I just like sit there and like in front of a fan and just try not to melt. But so I don't know what my plans are. We will see. Knitting. I'll go into knitting real quick. I have one knitting project because I'm still sticking to one knitting project at a time so I don't get overwhelmed. So for knitting, I have been working on, what's it called? Like the Diaphanous Raglan by Jessie Mae Designs. I am stitching it using, I need a ball, where did the ball of yarn go? It's rolled away. You know that like video that's like a TikTok, Instagram video of like the ball of yarn that rolls off the couch and all of a sudden it's like outside? That's what happened right now. I don't know where it is. Where did my yarn go? Okay, here it is. The colors I am using one of the colors from Sewlividyes yarn. It is, I can't remember what month it is. I'll insert in the description which month this was because I've been getting every month. I don't remember which one this is. And then you are supposed to hold it together with a lace weight, and I have been using, this is a Knit Picks one. It's Rhododendron, I think, like I said, I'll put it in the description box. And I've been holding it, you hold one strand of fingering, one strand of lace, and here is what it looks like. It is a v-neck sweater. I think it's going to be like a cropped length, so I have to do the ribbing. I need to do 3 inches of ribbing, and then the body of the sweater will be done. And then you do the sleeve using just the lace yarn, so the sleeve will just be the pink. And then I still need to do the ribbing on the neck, and then we'll be almost done. But like the sleeves are scaring me because like I've never knit long sleeves before, and this is a long sleeve. Or you can do a short sleeve version. There is a version where you do like a flutter sleeve, but I want to do the long one, and it's like billowy. I am so scared that my sleeves are going to be like different lengths, and I don't want that. So like I said, we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I love this so much. Like I said, it's by Jessie Mae Designs. I love it. So there's that. And then I also got yarn in for a sweater that I want to make. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it next. No, the next project I'm going to make is the Look at My Holes sweater by, I think it's James and Watts. I love that. It is the cutest little, it's not even really a sweater because it's all holey, but it's like a little top that you could like layer over tank tops and stuff, and I love the name, Look at My Holes. I'll insert a picture of it. I bought yarn for it, but it's not here yet. I love it. So, I did get yarn though for a sweater. That was very me as soon as I saw it. It is the Sailor Venus sweater by, I think, Magical Maya on Instagram. I think I should have wrote this down, but I am very unprepared because I randomly decided to make this video. So I ordered the sweater kit, which was available from Pearl Scout Yarns, and so you get this color for the body of the sweater. This is her Sailor Venus yarn, and then for the color work at the top, you use the cream, this red, then the orange and the blue, and yeah. I'm so excited that I'm going to have a Sailor Venus sweater, and she also has plans to make sweaters for all the other sailors. So that is something that I am looking forward to. But yeah, so this will be started eventually, but probably after the Look at My Holes shirt. So I've got a lot that I want to do for knitting, and it's kind of taking away my cross stitch time, but it's fine. And then for cross stitch, there was something I was gonna say. Oh, for cross stitch, I made a cross stitch chart using the Threadbare Pattern Maker website. It is a website where you can put in a picture and make a chart, and it costs like $10, but you can customize the chart yourself. You can pick the amount of colors, you can pick how big you want it to be, you can adjust all the dithering settings and everything so like it looks the way that you want it to look. And then they also have a kind of pattern keeper like app where you can keep track of your progress. And what's nice about their app is that it's not actually an app. You use it on a web browser, so you aren't tied to using it on like Android or Apple or anything. You can use it on any web browser, and it has cloud storage, so your progress is stored on a cloud. So if you use it on your phone and open it on your computer, all your progress should be moved over. So I want to try that. And the pattern I made is called Summer Flowers. It's a chart. The artwork is by, who was it? William Godward, I think. And it's public domain artwork now. So I was like, it's fine to make a chart. It's over 100 years old. there's no copyright on it, and so I made this chart, Summer Flowers. I will insert it here, and I want to get started on it, but I have not yet. I'm trying to show some restraint. And then another chart that I ended up purchasing that I wanted for a long time, but it's not going to be here for a while, is I got a Gecko Rouge kit. I had been looking at the chart Little Gamer by Medusa Dollmaker for a long time, and then I finally bit the bullet and was like, I just am going to get it. And so I ordered that, but I think their kits say that they can take like 1 to 6 weeks to ship, and then the shipping could take a while because it's coming from overseas. So there is that. Those were my cross-stitch purchases. I don't think there was any other purchases. So that is all. But thank you everyone for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I will hopefully be back after doing some more crafting because I love it. But hopefully it's not hot. I'm already getting like really hot right now. I want to turn my fans back on and just be fanned. So I will see everyone in my next video.